Get my face off of here. Do something.
There you go. Oh, the wind was supposed to blow my hair away.
Is that what was supposed to happen?
I don't know what was supposed to happen. Well, hello. Hello, sir.
You could have afforded a thread reel or something to. How honored am I for you to make this truly amazing debut live on the internet?
You know, I decided to take up mentalism, and it was all in the way.
I know that eventually all the greats realize to be truly great, you have to shave the head.
You know, I just asked, what has my hair done for me lately?
Yeah, it takes up your time, and it eats up your pocketbook if you care about it properly.
It did look good. I'm hoping this looks just.
I
as
predict
good,
it comes back.
Clean.
You have
Here we go.
quite the hair. But yeah, look, we were doing
Still here.
pre-show. I saw the shaved
Still
head
me.
pre-show. That hat looks just like you normally do when you're out there rocking it, and no one would ever know. So
Yeah, it's
you can
still
do
me.
whatever you want.
So how are you, man?
I'm good, I'm still doing exactly what I want every day. And as you know, that as a street performer and a fellow artist who's managed to eke through that life, anytime you wake up and do what you want every day, life is good, right?
Beautiful thing.
That's kind of the way you live your life, huh?
I love it. Yeah, I try.
Yeah. You wouldn't do anything different than that.
I'm my own boss. I'm a terrible, terrible boss, but
I'm the same.
not because I'm mean. Probably because I'm not as mean as I should be to myself. But I have my fun, and I get out there and yeah, like you say, live life. Live life.
I imagine
Get hit
most
by a
of
bus
my
tomorrow.
kindred spirits here know who you are, but maybe we could familiarize those who don't. You don't really promote yourself in the magic community. That's most of my audience that watch these things. So, Alexander, you're from Michigan. You've
Check.
been a professional for how long?
Gosh, 20 some years.
Man, are you that old? How old are you now?
Pushing 40.
You're not there yet, though.
Not quite, but
Well, then you still don't have true wisdom.
right? Is that it? Is that the age where I get through?
Yeah, it's actually time based.
That would be awesome.
The government
Or
sends you a
just
pill in the
consolation prize
mail,
for
and then when
the
you
whole-
take it at age 40, then you know things.
Yeah, I think that would be great. That would be a consolation prize for the whole knees back exchange.
Are you starting to feel old?
I'm a tall dude,
Yeah.
and yeah, knees and back, brother, knees and back. We're trying to stay fit these days. Huh? I get my steps in.
Yeah, as you say, I think one of the keys to happiness and success as well is having a wonderful woman in your life. I know she's been there. I've heard her today. I don't know if she'll pop on, but hello to Sydney.
She might peek around the corner.
Yeah.
Us a little bit, but maybe not. She's a little.
I think
mouse.
this is important as well as having happiness in our lives.
She's my rock and my mouse. I don't know. she's wonderful. Yeah.
I have people I have to say hi to that come on here. Jimmy Ferrister, we hung out last week doing debaucherous things in the Maroney. Hello, Jimmy.
Actual local.
He was visiting from Oklahoma. Hello, Alex. Phoenix. This young man is 10 years old. He does Pharaoh shuffle work.
All right.
In addition to everything I've seen him present is good. He's going to be the happiest boy in magic soon. He's getting a package in the mail.
In honor of Phoenix, we'll just.
You have something for Phoenix?
No. I just in honor of Phoenix, I was just going to Pharaoh shuffle while you're talking.
Oh, man.
I don't know if Phoenix has seen it this way. He's probably seen it short ways, but not long ways like that. There you go, Phoenix.
You know what I recall you doing is the everlasting shuffle. Do you still do that? What'd you call it?
Yeah, the everlasting shuffle stopper. I don't know what we ended up calling it. Ooh, this maybe will go. Everlasting bridge. I don't know.
You just keep bridging. It's a nonstop bridge.
Messier and messier. You can keep bridging. You can go if your spirits are tuned into nature. You can go for a long time. But
If someone's not getting you spotlighted on the internet while you're coming in cold with the move.
right, this is not something that I do regularly. So
Yeah.
but yeah, you're just doing it from the corners if you can reach that far. But letting it unpharaoh, right? With your
Yeah.
pharaoh bridge, and then doing that for ad nauseum.
All right, so we were talking about you. Let's not stop for a
Well,
minute.
practicing.
20-something years. You started street performing, I guess. That's when I met you here in the French Quarter. Was it 20 years ago? It wasn't that long ago, was it?
20 years ago wasn't street performing. I was doing restaurants and corporate stuff and all that when I was in school.
Mm-hmm.
And then I left school and got in a van and drove around the eastern United States trying to figure out what busking was, and found New Orleans and found home.
Briefly, and I know we've talked about this before, but what was the first step for figuring out busking? Like, where did you travel to first? Where you're like, I'm going to go do this?
The very first place I was like, this is where I'm going to busk. I went to Boston. I
Boston.
heard about Faneuil Hall and all that, but there's a lot of restrictions.
Yeah, that sounds
Be
challenging.
allowed to perform. Not, I was run off of anywhere I tried to start.
Right. I've heard that.
And so that was like very frustrating. I'm like, wait, do I want to do this? I thought this was all about being free.
Yeah.
But you have to learn all those details once you get into it. But no, New Orleans was the first place that I saw really successful street performers that didn't have a license, weren't allowed, didn't audition, just showed up.
Yeah, it's one of the great Wild West left in this country, right? Where you can just come truly be free.
It is.
And there's a
even
love-hate with that. It's the best of worlds and the worst of worlds.
Yeah, it's a bit overloaded, isn't it, these days? It's been a couple of years for me, but you're more...
It has been. It's a roller coaster here all the time, but because of the total freedom,
I've always seen it as it's a tough pitch. It's a place to cut your teeth, not necessarily to settle down and stay.
Yeah, right. Whoops.
Well, if you're doing
congratulations on escaping, Mr.
Well,
Westbrook.
if you're doing other things, and you have a lot of other things going on there, family and more deeper roots than I have there.
I raised a brood here.
Right.
My youngest is bringing my 4th granddaughter into the planet next month. What? Emily, baby Emily.
You can do granddaughter matrix now.
Yeah, that's why I asked her to have that one specifically so that I could do that effect before the other ones get too old.
I love it.
So street performing was a large portion of your life. I want to talk, one of the reasons I asked you to be here today, I was poking around the internet. Let me see if I can find what I was poking around and share this with the rest. And I said, oh, look, Alexander's doing something and we can bring him on here to talk about it.
Okay, cool.
Magic Day, Michigan Magic Day. This is a traditional magic convention. It's been going on for, there it is, 45 years, 45th anniversary. This year it's in Marshall, Michigan, and you are appearing on this
April 1st,
bill.
Appropriate day for a magic show.
Let me, what did you say there?
I said it's April 1st, which is an appropriate day for a magic show.
It's an ideal day for a magic show.
The best day for a magic show.
There will be a public show for people that just want to come see magic.
Right. So there's a showcase on the 1st, the evening. It's like 7:30, I think. And that's at the Franklin Center for the Arts. What's the name of that theater? You have it right there in front of you. Frank Center, right?
The Frank Center for the Arts, $45. Look who's on this show. Jeff McBride.
McBride is there.
John Sturck, I think he's the current president of the SAM, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be. John LaChance, and everyone's going to be highlighted by Alexander the Magician. And then John Kovas is your MC.
I look forward to meeting these guys. I've heard all good things. Jeff is the only person I've actually met before, and only briefly.
So if you're in this area, look at your options here. Marshall, Michigan. You could go.
There's some options.
Yeah, there's.
If you're a Magic fan in Michigan.
And I see these are limited tickets. So you got, if the 23 left for the Friday option. This is like, if I was close by, I would go get a dealer's table for $25. Come on now. That's a deal.
Yeah, if you have something to.
Man, like seriously, if I was in the neighborhood, I'd go set something up there. I have enough things to do that for. And I would definitely go see you and McBride and the rest of the crew here.
Oh, dang. Yeah. Well, good channel playing.
If someone cancels, you know who to call. Dealer's room, $5. What? And then the Jeff McBride event, you can get it all for $175.
$5 to get into that. That's pretty cool.
And if you're a Magic Club member, 125. They do everything in a party after party. So yeah, cool.
Yeah, and then there's an extra thing on Sunday. McBride is doing a workshop. Like you can go and do your act for him, and he'll like give you pointers.
Well, that sounds invaluable.
Yeah.
So this is what you're doing in addition to being on the public show. My understanding is you'll be talking to the public in a lecture of some form, or to
So it's to the attendees.
the convention attend. It's a lecture, a magician's lecture.
Yeah, it's the convention is for magicians, so I imagine there'll be magicians and their wives there. So I'm the first lecture of the day at 9 a.m. So I'll.
That's the worst slot.
Really,
Good luck with
I'll be
that.
really grateful if anybody shows up for my little talk. But
It's like a one day with 4 lectures is the deal, right? It's not like a
there's
multi-day
lectures all day,
convention.
including McBride is giving a lecture.
Yeah.
And then that night is the show.
Well, then the early slot's fine. That's probably the best slot. The bad deal is when you get the early slot on day 3 and everyone's sleeping in from being up at 4 a.m. for 3 days straight.
Yeah, probably. Then nobody's there or they're hungover. You're right.
Yeah, we got a little echo today.
The convention part of it is kind of just one day, and then the McBride thing is an extra thing on Sunday. And then there's this open mic sort of thing Friday night. That's going to be kind of fun. We're inviting the public, the magicians that are just coming to the convention, they can go up and do a trick for McBride, and I'll be there, and the other lecturers will all be there to watch, as well as your other friends that you're going to make at the convention. So yeah, should be a grand old time. I know a few people who are just coming to the show, which should be just a great time. It's McBride. You've seen McBride live. It's quite the experience.
Yeah, I've seen you live, and it's quite an experience too. So I would love to see you on the stage.
Yeah.
We talked about doing some magic here. I want to talk about what you're going to talk about in the lecture a little bit. Maybe you could talk about the street, but I'd love to see you do a little magic. Would you be up for doing something magical for this audience?
Absolutely.
I think we might need this camera to make that happen so we can do the video effects.
Yeah.
Or not. What do you want to do here?
Are we talking family show stuff, or are we talking adult crowd? What's your market here? Who's out there?
Look, man, I appreciate freedom of speech and art in all forms. Maybe PG-13, just so I can keep this thing monetized, so I get an extra $10 in my bank.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I was gonna do something with this balloon, and it's called penetration.
Did that coin just go in the balloon?
It did, sir. Let's see if we can get it out. Hey!
Whoa!
Penetration.
Nice.
Now this is inspired by was it Burton that did the walking through the mirror trick?
Lance Burton walking through the mirror?
Yeah. Lance Burton had a mirror on stage. He stood on one side of it. You could clearly see him. He had like holes in the mirror where he could stick his arms through or whatever. Maybe is this good in this cam, or should I switch to?
No, that looks good right there.
I want you to see it.
Pretty sure this is an Ed Marlowe trick.
Variation number 4.
Wow.
So I saw Burton walk through a mirror. This is the closest I can get to it.
That looks so good, it's not fair.
I'm going to prove that it's in there with my knife. Got a knife here. Pop, incoming. There we go.
Whoa!
That's really there. But you know what? I got another balloon here. You want to try this again?
There's more?
Yeah, if you want to switch over to this one?
Look. Wonder if I need to be here for this. Whoops, not that. I'm going to stay right here.
Over here? Can you see me?
This second camera is your phone, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. All right, my hair's not going to disappear this time. I'll try this. I'm going to bring you over here with me. That's good. Hey, oh, now it's weird. Ready?
I'm ready, man. Now, wait minute.
Do you see me?
Dude, I just realized, like,
Over here.
I just realized how bad this is fooling me. This shouldn't work this way, Alex. What is happening here?
All right, which cam you on? You ready? Switch back to A cam, maybe. I don't know.
Pow. Baby, that's nice.
So that's whoop. That's the penetration trick.
That does look awesome. You know, I've seen you do this before. I'm privileged. And I didn't consider how fooling that moment is when you peek through that balloon. It's such a convincer.
Yeah, when they
What?
play the video back, it's great.
Yeah, work that out at home. Exactly.
They see that you literally see the trick on the other side, and it's just like even more like.
Such a good moment. And it's also such a smart choice for a venue like this, you know?
Thank you.
And congratulations, you just improved the latex industry.
Latex, a wonderful thing. Wonderful thing. Smoother ride and less traffic.
Buddy.
Latex rubber. I'll be a spokesman.
I remember talking with you about that trick. Do you remember when we talked about that trick the first time?
I kind of remember kind of coming up with that trick with you independently. I don't know if you'd already seen Garcia's stuff, and
I think you mentioned it
bled in.
at the bar. And anyway,
but doing it with the that could be our tip to the people out there who do the trick in question, is to find yourself some good needle through balloon, clear balloons, and it's way more visual. I think our finish, because Garcia did it and it was great, but our finish where you can see it come back out.
yeah.
I'll do it even one more time if you'd like.
Do you do this trick in your show, in your street show?
I do.
Yeah, it's an active piece for you.
Yeah, I'll blow it up while I have them get their camera going. So they'll have video of it from the other side.
You borrow the phone. That's so good. Of course you borrow the phone.
And then I'm aiming for the, so they can see from this video, they'll be able to see out the nozzle.
Wow.
And see, sometimes you hit the button and it stops and you have to restart it.
So they get a video of the effect to take home.
Yeah, they could be recording this. And as long as I don't accidentally stop the recording. You get that on video.
I love it.
So that's I think of that as our version of the trick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's ours. I didn't really put anything into that.
Like I say, my memory, maybe you had just mentioned it and had seen it already, but
I had no creative input on that development. Yeah, if anything, I mentioned it to you. Maybe at the same time you were considering the notion.
Yeah, definitely because the coin going through, I've been working on for my whole life, trying to get that to work out.
That's a great trick. What was your inspiration to do that?
Oh, the dental dam thing.
Yeah, but now there was a release of that, if I'm not mistaken. Were you inspired by a commercial release?
For using a balloon?
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen that, but I thought it was just such an obvious thing.
I might be confusing it with, I've seen silk in balloon. Have you done the silk in balloon?
That, and there's also the tennis ball in balloon, which is fantastic.
I haven't seen that. That sounds great.
That's really great. You hold tennis ball, like the coin, but it's a stage version. You can take a whole tennis ball and it goes inside. It's wonderful.
You know who really gets the nod here, I think, is Jay Sankey, who had the idea to put the deck in there.
I do that trick too, airtight.
Airtight.
That's the other thing I do with the balloon.
Yeah.
Actually, we were chatting about bad shows earlier. One of my worst shows ever. It was for a Cub Scout group.
Cub Scout group, huh?
Yeah, I don't recommend it. This was back in the day. But they were throwing balloons at me. Part of their torture of me during the show is they had these balloons floating around the room, and they would find them and just throw them on stage once in a while. But they sort of were like that beige and golds Cub Scout colors, which matched the balloons I already had. So when I did airtight, like basically looked like I took their balloons, put the deck inside, and give it to them.
Cool.
You can shut them up a few times, but it has to be that level. Like,
I've heard that the scouts can be unruly. That doesn't seem like they should be the unruly audience,
it's the
right?
opposite of what you'd expect, right?
What's going on, Boy
yeah,
Scouts?
No, I've had some experiences that would lead me.
Here's a question that I'm curious about too. I wonder if you do any packet tricks.
Sure.
Do you have one that you would do in a commercial environment? Is there something that goes in your pocket if you're booked to do walk around?
A walk around packet trick? Oh, I don't know.
I mean, here's the thing
not
though.
really
You hem and haw. It tells me
yeah.
no is the answer to that question. If it was a
Honestly,
commercial
no.
worker, you just tell me.
Yeah, well, like if I do 4 aces, if I'm working at a table situation, I'll do a 4 ace trick, and a few of the tricks in that could be classified as packet tricks.
Yeah, so more of an organic packet trick.
Yeah, I like the packet trick where the deck is sitting off to the side and you're using these cards.
You're not taking the wallet
an
out to
envelope.
introduce cards with dogs and rabbits on them.
Although, yeah, if they're different enough, if like these are special cards, I had one. What was it called? Masterpiece Forgery.
The name again?
Masterpiece Forgery. If I can find it in 5 seconds, I'll.
Ooh,
I doubt it.
that's a name I've never heard before.
It's a commercial thing, but like really old. You probably can't find it anymore. Oh,
I understand that skit. Yeah, I'll note that the only packet trick I use commercially is the 3-card Monty. And generally for me, it's the plastic lady routine. In the other side of the wallet, I do keep Jim Swain's Capitulating Queens, which sometimes I'll use. It's a good, quick trick. No table, involves the audience,
Yeah, that's what you need. Warpo does that marked packet trick with the royal flush and they're marked on the back. And
the Swain trick is not dissimilar, but they get to make choices, which is always better. Name a card.
you know what I love is a well, it's not. I guess that's not a packet. Blizzard isn't a packet trick. It has a packet trick section.
It's not, but it is a deck that I consider bringing.
That's a strong trick, man. And I love the way you do it.
Here's the thing about that trick, though. It's too cumbersome to carry around because it's
It's
two
not a
decks
workaround.
for one trick, and I also have the invisible deck in my pocket for someone to name a card. So, and then I have a regular deck. So do I have 4 decks now?
Right.
You know,
I will say that I've used the blank cards as a solution to, say, wanting to follow the invisible deck with having somebody sign a card. Say that was my problem, but a lot of situations where you might want the card signed but not want to take one out of that deck you're using. So to just have a packet of blanks with me, if I'm going to have somebody sign a card, typically these days I'll blank it. That's a trick in itself. You make the card blank so that the only ink on it is their name. Something
boy,
excuse like that. And
have
now
you
you're
seen
doing trick
Suzanne's routine with the blank deck? Suzanne the magician.
Is that the double-sided blank?
It's blank blank.
Yeah.
Such a
Yeah,
good
so
routine.
That's
She was
that's great because it's yeah, you can do ambitious card all day with that setup,
Then she prints the deck after also, and she does a fusion effect in the middle of it as well as a deck to pocket. It's such a great routine. It's everything, this routine. Ambitious, card to pocket, deck prints itself, fusion, and
That sounds
watching
like something I would
Suzanne
think of.
do it, she's a little pixie.
I would love that. Yeah, I love when the tricks sort of make sense, or at least half the trick is the building of the prop. The magician has to put together the materials to do this thing with the cards, and so here are the blank cards. Here's the ink, and now here comes the trick. Yeah, I love it.
I tried to find Masterpiece Forgery demo online. I can't find it quick enough if it's even out there.
I'll tell you what, you said you were going to do some stuff later. If you put me backstage later, I can go look for it. If I find it, I can come back out and do it.
Here, go do that. You can go do that now if you want.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look at this trailer from Hanson Chen is linking dice. I'm just going to put you backstage for a minute.
All right, cool. I'll be right back.
See you in just a minute. So hey y'all, if you missed the beginning, I've got some things from Hanson Chen. He sent me a couple of his I think it's a new release. It's linking dice, and I watched the trailer for this today. It was gooder than I watched the trailer, and we're about to watch that. But also the tutorial on this thing was much more than I expected. So yeah, he sent me a couple of them. I'm going to give away one here today. Let's watch the trailer while I find the giveaway too.
In the year 2000, Japanese magician Nobuyuki Nojima came out with linking dice. It became one of the greatest penetration effects of all time. Now, the brand new version is here, the linking dice 2.0.
There's actually a lot on this tutorial beyond just the linking dice. There's this.
Is inside and blow, it goes off.
Highlight here. There we go. This is better. I think that's genuinely a surprising moment for the audience. So yeah, this right? That's included.
If you are a fan of dice magic, you definitely want to learn it. Welcome to Linking Dice 2.0.
I think that's a true statement. If you're a fan of dice magic, you definitely want to learn it. Here's some live performance of that thing on the stream. I put a link in the description. If you're interested in looking at this in detail, you can go click on that link and learn more about it. I'm going to give away one of the two that he sent me today. And then I think what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to give away the second one next week. And we're going to do that with comments on the video. That way people that watch this stream later can comment. And the key word here is to use the word dice. So after this stream is over in the comments of the video, comment the word dice, and maybe next week you'll be the winner of one of these linking dice 2.0. I was going to unbox the thing today, but I'm just going to do that next week as we are eating up some time here with Alexander. But I'll tell you what I need to do. I am going to give away one of them today. Let me get this giveaway tool going. Select my broadcast. There's the one. I'm going to put, can I share this just so y'all know what I'm doing? Dun, 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 share. The keyword is simply dice. So if you'd like to say the word dice, it will start collecting your comments. And you get 6 dice. 3 of them are either trainer dice or a climax to the routine. Also, the methods that they teach reach beyond the linking dice effect. And if you want to just do it with any 6 dice, you can take the information that they give to you and use your own dice. That's what I intend to do it. And I tell you that I also have a personal goal over the next week of learning this routine. So by the time I'm on here next Wednesday at 4 p.m., and hey, let me give a little spoiler here. Next Wednesday at 4 p.m., Warpo is going to be here. We've made arrangements. The legendary King of the Wizard's Tower, Warpo, will be in the studio, and we're going to talk about all kinds of things, but certainly I want to talk about the Svengali pitch. He's one of the last of the old school Svengali pitchmen. We're going to talk about that and all the other weirdness that him and I have been through over the last I've known him longer than Alex. It might be 30 years with me and Warpo. What's up, David Miller? Good to see you. By the way, y'all, how about this new, how about this new studio layout? I moved everything in my studio this weekend, took it all apart, put it all back together in a different format, and I absolutely hate it. Can't stand what I did with it. I'll be reverting back to our other look next week. In the interim, enjoy this scenery while it lasts. It won't be long. I can't find anything. Nothing is in my reach. And that's the name of that tune today. All right, what we got? 1 in 20 chance to win. That's a pretty good chance to win a prize. Let's why am I there? That's the look I want. Alex just sat down. Let me go ahead and give this dice away. Good luck, everybody. I'm going to draw this thing now. 3, 2, 1. Boink. Look at all the kindred spirits. I know most of these people personally. That pleases me greatly. Jeff Chandler. Happy to send Jeff a package. Jeff, congratulations on winning the Hansen Chin Linking Dice 2.0. I'm quite sure you have my email or know how to get in touch with me because we've chatted plenty before. So congratulations, Jeff. I'm going to send you these things. And yeah, we did that. I'm going to do it again next week. I'll repeat after this video's over, after the stream, you leave a comment with the word dice below. I will unbox this thing live on the YouTube next Wednesday at 4:00 with Warpo, I guess. And then I'll try my best to do this trick. It's surprisingly attainable. I thought it would be much harder to learn this piece. I practiced it literally for minutes today, and I was starting to do it right away. So yeah. Yeah, look at all the happiness. Congrats, Jeff. Congrats. Hey, Scott, good to see you, man. And Phoenix, congrats, and congrats. I should also mention this name, Gary Henderson. Gary was kind enough to send me this book, one of the Bibles, The Expert at the Card Table. He said he had an extra one and would like it to go to a student that needs it. And as he sent me this book, I said, I wonder if I could do this on a big scale. I wonder if I could collect unwanted books from magicians. Maybe you have duplicates. Maybe you just want to support the cause of, say, someone from an international country who doesn't have access to these kind of things. And maybe I'm the person to distribute these texts. So in addition to, taking kind donations from guys like Gary, and I will be distributing this book soon, not today, but soon, once I wrap my head around this whole project, I'm going to try and do that for a lot more people than just that one book. Kind of an international scholarship, mainly for books, but I want to get props and cards and just anything into the hands of our international. I know so many people have trouble getting good things in some parts of the world, and that's sad for me. I thought Alex was ready, but he's walking away now. Let's see what else I can talk about. Oh, here he comes. Alex was just doing this. Just wondering why we stopped talking.
Hello.
Like
Hello
that.
again.
Did you find this?
I did. I found it.
You found it?
It's been a minute since I've done it, but it should be all
You
right.
like you want to try?
We
Or
can try. Which cam do you prefer?
Look, I'm bringing you here, man. You are the highlight.
Camera A. We're back. Congratulations on the dice trick. That's pretty good.
No doubt.
Never won that. This is a card trick. Now, this is a deck of cards you buy at any dollar store, and these days they are mass produced. They're as disposable as toilet paper. They don't really mean anything. But there was a time where a deck of cards would be hand painted by artisans of the craft, usually blank backed, because who would bother trying to make identical backs? So the backs would be blank, but the fronts would all be different and unique and artistic.
True story.
So this harkens back to a day of that. So I'm going to need a card selected. I'm just going to, I'll go clumps like this. You just say stop at some time while I'm clumping through the deck here.
Stop.
There. More.
It's good.
You're happy?
Generally.
We'll just have you remember that card.
Got it.
All right. doesn't matter if I see the card. I've seen this trick before, but I'm not going to bother with finding the card. In fact, I'm going to have to come around here and get close to show you what I really brought, which is some art that I actually bought in Tijuana.
Some art?
Yeah, this is some original
Pocket art?
Original pocket art pieces that I bought that hopefully I can get in focus here. Are you going to autofocus for me?
That's my fault. I have the kryptonite of focus. We never get it right here.
Maybe I tap the button and it'll do it. Oh.
2 years I've been trying to get focused on this channel, Alex.
Can you see what this is?
Yeah, it looks good.
This is Michelangelo.
Yeah, yeah.
Visage of God from the ceiling. Yeah.
Okay.
Dali. There's some Salvador Dali.
Ooh, there it is.
Of
That's
spheres.
crisp.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the spot right there.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
C'est bon.
You have, of course, Da Vinci's Mona Lisa. And my nephew Dexter. And this is called Whittle Kid.
That's your fantastic.
So I was shocked after I purchased these. I was shocked to discover that one of these cards is actually a forgery. It's actually not the original. It's not real.
Oh, you don't say.
I'm telling
Was
you,
it the
it's not
pig?
real. And I noticed at one point, maybe you could notice. Oh shit! Oh, yeah, I got out of frame there. Sorry. I noticed at one point the one of them looked a little strange. Maybe you see what's wrong with the Mona Lisa there.
Yeah.
She's not holding a card in the original. Now I wasn't sure about that because I'm not a student of art, but I was pretty sure it was a forgery once I saw the back. I'm sure Da Vinci never painted the back. But forgery or no, this is in the end this is just a stupid card trick. So, Doug, what card did you pick?
I hope it was the Ace of Hearts.
The Ace of Hearts.
Fun. Yay.
So
I'm
that's
quite
my-
sure
that's
that's what the original Mona Lisa was, and then they painted over
They
that
painted
because
over
they
the card because of a suit with Bicycle Card Company.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Da Vinci said he invented the bicycle, and they were like, no.
Yeah, they glommed it, and then now it's all messed up.
There you go.
Not
That's
easy
the
being
only
an
other
artist.
pack of tricks I'd ever do.
That counts. You know what I found most interesting about all of that was your forcing procedure.
Oh well, thanks. Yeah, have you seen that before?
That's like a buried Bill Goodwin idea.
Is it? You're the man with the names. I don't know.
Well,
I
yeah.
learned it from Paul Richardson. Is that a name?
Yeah.
I think that's who taught me that
He
one.
put the 2-ton transpo in Magic Magazine.
That's called the 2-ton transpo.
Yeah, and it involves a meaty lift.
What a name. I love ballsy stuff. You know me. And it's, you know.
I mean, like, who am I to draw attention to the method versus the effect here? But when classic works of art start holding playing cards, I think, as Marlowe would say, it's cute.
The world has lost its mind. No, that's what I mean. Like, to have a packet of cards separate that you introduce, it has to have a reason. It has to have like
Yep,
its own special thing.
that makes
going on.
sense completely.
It's not
And
just a
now the
story.
conversation's full circle.
Yeah. we brought it
Yeah,
back
if you
around.
bring a packet out, why are you doing that?
Yeah, if you bring a packet out and it's just 5 cards that look like they came from your deck, but
Yeah, here's a
they
good
at least
like
have to be all the
example.
same or all different backs, or they, you know. I remember Tricked Traveler was in your book that I got when I was, you know, just a young bud. And I loved that trick, but I couldn't find rub-on transfers. I couldn't afford them. I couldn't find them, whatever. So I took blank cards and I drew.
Oh, I think you told me this.
I may have told you the story, but so I just drew the aces on so that I could have everything that I needed to do Trick Traveler, if you know what I mean. But it led to this great story that I told about. I used to do this trick just with cards from my deck, but then one day, at the end of the trick, all the cards go blank, And one day, this little girl took my cards, and she felt bad that the cards went blank, and so she drew the aces back on there for me so I could do my trick again. And so now I do the trick with her aces. And it just added this heart and this warmth to Trick Traveler. And so that was the only way I ever really did that trick. I haven't done it that way since. I never did.
I love it.
Transfers or anything.
I'm actually having those commercially produced for my upcoming convention runs this season, so they'll be available for people that want them.
Yeah, that's as good as, it's not better than Quartet as far as a device and a way to get into a trick.
This is a packet trick I've been using online, and I'm looking. Whoa, that is not a packet trick. Is this a deck? Long story short, I do a version of Jumping Gemini by Darwin Ortiz that ends with 4 jokers. So it's an ace, it's 4 aces, then it's 4 queens, and then it's 4 jokers.
Yeah.
I do this on TikTok Live all the time. Setting off camera is a packet trick in FW. So it's off screen.
Yeah.
So I have my regular deck in play, and I'm doing Jumping Gemini, and I end by producing 4 jokers. It's a great trick, and that would be a fine end. I accept my moment, and then off screen I'll switch in NFW. So now they've seen the whole thing. And since I have it in my hand, I'll just go ahead and do one of the best packet tricks of all
One of the
time.
best packet tricks in the
So if you've been convinced that this has just been 4 cards the whole time, and they've been queens and they've been aces,
right.
and then the jokers start turning face down one at a time. It's the first joker that turns face down. That's the second joker that turns face down. Let's do this. I'll do the third one slow motion and visibly. Slow motion and visibly. I apparently had these completely out of order. I hope you like that. Hey, if you did, don't forget to comment, like the stream, share. You could follow the host. Any of that will be helpful.
That's almost better because you're getting right to it.
I have no idea what just happened there, but that was an acceptable. That was acceptable. How do I get back to us? For now. Oh, look at that view. Let's go here. All right. Anyway, I'll use a packet trick like that where I can introduce regular cards, secretly get into a packet trick without my audience's knowledge, and then have that bonus of using advantage cards to really bring it home.
Hell yeah. Love it.
It's probably only good for people that perform on TikTok, so that's good for 3 people.
I think that's doable in performance as well. You can do that in your pocket just as easily.
Yeah. That's, I guess, the problem with NFW is how do you convince the people that what you have in play is what it should be prior to that killer finish? And
Right. I used to do it with just a Vernon substitute transfer and like say, oh, I have extra jokers in my deck. I'll take them out. I'll tell you what, have you ever seen this trick? And it's almost an afterthought as I'm taking the jokers out.
you know, I did a demo for Penguin. We were trying to do brand deals together at one place in my life, and that was a trick they asked me to shoot. And my approach to it was this: tell people what to do with jokers, and I just littered jokers everywhere. So there was jokers all over my table, and then I did it with just 4, and they turned to aces. So
Yeah,
here's what I do with
the count
jokers.
doesn't matter because the suggestion is already all over the table.
Although I'll tell you, if you want the real secret sauce, the super juice on doing NFW online, and I think I started it this way, is this. Allow me to solo myself.
Do it.
Bring this here. You'll have to have a little vision here, but here is one joker that I'll use, right? And here's all the gimmicks. Okay?
Okay.
And then here's, let's say these are 2 regular jokers. Regular jokers. Just have some vision. So I say, look, a trick with 4 jokers. Pick it up in the hand, pick it up in the hand, pick it up, and then now I do propelled lapping. So those are going to get lapped. So I pick this up, put it in the hand, and lap those.
Love it.
And now I can go into the packet trick from 4.
That's so convincing a display.
Yeah, it's a thing that I've used a few times online to kind of convince people the cards in play are as they should be.
Nice.
Here we go down the rabbit hole. I told you it would happen. We're already 45 minutes in here.
Whatever. Let's talk, baby.
Let me get my face back on here. Let me see if I missed any comments, and maybe we could go to the chat if you guys have anything you want to talk about. This is a good time to get it in. We're going to hang out here maybe till 5, another 10, 12 minutes.
Tell you what,
I
give
see
me
some
1
people
minute.
earlier were talking about books. What did you see, Alex?
I said, give me 1 minute. We're going to swap battery just to make
Oh,
sure.
yeah, do that, and I'll
So
go
you
back
talk
on
for a
here.
minute, and
Yeah.
I'll be right back on camera.
Yep.
Go.
I love that we're talking about Bill Tarr's books, and I see that Gary said that is happening. There's Jeff. You're welcome, Jeff. Congrats, and have fun with that prop. It's a good set. I love this. Scott Smith. I collect as many Bill Tarr books as I can to give away to magicians. It's the first book I started with. It's one of my first as well, Scott. I actually began with his 101 Classic Easy Magic Tricks. And look at this from Gary. Alan, what's happening, man? Dude, I might keep that for myself. I wouldn't do that. And yes, Jason, you were late. That's correct, sir. Comment in the video after the stream. Maybe you'll win that way. I love that Matthew Mosley is considering the kindred spirits. And yeah, y'all give me a week or two to finish wrapping my head around this whole endeavor, and we'll get back to it. Looks like Alexander's got his skip back together. Boink. Did you do it that fast?
Yeah, just a battery. But yeah, Bill Tarr is the man. I wanted to second that emotion of you can learn magic with.
You know what I'd like to see? The Bill Tarr, now you see it, trick companion.
Has no one done a video?
What I'm suggesting is the books need tricks. It's mostly technique. There's good tricks, but it's mostly tricks.
I suppose so.
Technique.
Yeah, that's true. It is more of a visual encyclopedia that you can then use for other things. But man,
Correct. It's a great resource for sure. And everything in it's worth learning, like everything.
yeah. No, it's one of the reasons I move the way I do is those drawings.
Same. All right, what do you got? What do you got going here? What is that? You doing
Just a
something?
deck of cards. No, nothing in particular. What should I do?
Oh, I don't know. I thought you were
can't
doing
top
something. I
Masterpiece
thought you were
Forgery.
getting ready.
No,
Phoenix, if
I
you've
would
been
take
working on the
more
wand spin, you're going to be very happy soon. Wait till you open your box, young man. I'm so excited for you.
You're giving away wands.
He got a set of legend cups, and I put some other goodies in the box for him to enjoy. So, your first real good set of cups.
Hell
Come on
yeah.
now.
Hell yeah.
Yes, Rabbi Yitz, we have an echo today. I suspect it's Alexander, but I'm not going to talk
I
about
think
it.
I said it twice.
It's hard to get things perfect
Okay.
on the internet.
I don't know if there's an echo or not.
Let me see if if it's just me and if I'm just talking. I muted you, Alex, so we could test my hypothesis. It's likely that you have a speaker on that the microphone is picking up, and that's what's causing the echo.
A little bit.
So check 1, 2, and we're checking that out.
I turned you down a little bit. Maybe that's better.
I don't know. Look at Matthew Mosley. Matthew Mosley. What? If I need help with anything in my life, it is shipping costs. I spent so much money shipping packages last week. 3 international. I sent a prize package to Norway. I sent one to Australia. I hope everyone's getting these soon. And I sent one to the UK. So
When you spin the wheel for the prize, you're like local.
very much. I'm very much that. It's like I'm gambling every time I do a giveaway. The real expense is the
Australian
shipping.
Post, no.
Man, it's like $30 to send a box somewhere. If it's 2 pounds, it's $30.
Yeah, they're gouging everything they can gouge, can't they?
All right.
Almost wish you could pluck money out of the air or something.
Jason Y coming through. This is the man that really backs this whole channel. He pays my internet bill on a monthly basis, so we could all be here. Thank you, Jason.
Well done, Jason.
Yeah, I think it's manageable, and if not, I would have addressed it closer or more as earlier. But if you want good information, then maybe we'll get some more of that. I wanted to talk a little more about street performing. Did we even talk about much of it today? Like,
Oh,
I know
not
there's
really,
going to be
no.
street performers watching this and some noobs.
No, and that's going to be the subject of my lecture. Is
Yeah, that's why
street
I
and
thought it would
crowd
be a good.
building and just telling some stories about that. So if you want to hear more, you can come to Michigan Magic Day at 9 a.m. and hear me lecture. But
What was it? What you gave an elevator pitch? It's a lecture on what?
street performing and crowd building.
Crowd
I'll
building.
kind of talk a little bit, focus on the crowd building aspect of street performing because that's kind of what maybe everybody will be interested in hearing. So some techniques and strategies that I've picked up on the street and in festivals and in other environments where pulling people together that weren't necessarily planning to see something.
Have you delivered this lecture before?
No,
Is this your first magic lecture?
this is my first magic lecture in English.
So where was the first?
In Italy. When I was doing my show sort of half in Italian, I was invited to two different magic clubs who had me. They played my video of my show, and then they had a translator there to help me out to kind of answer questions and talk about it. So it was more of
That sounds super cool.
It was super cool. They were so inviting
Will-
and fun, and like it was just. a bunch of
Will
Italian
you have
musicians.
footage of your street show at this event or be doing some of your street performance in the lecture?
So probably yeah, I'll do a little of my like opening type tricks to open a street show to talk about that first part of it. But I don't want the lecture to be about tricks. I figure
Yeah,
there's
I
enough
agree
of that,
these days.
in
Tricks
most-
are so easy to come by these days. Come on now.
and it's like most of my tricks. I feel like I'm honest about it a little bit. They're just other people's stuff with tweaks. I don't need to release it's my three fly because I do this little tiny adjustment at the end, and otherwise it's Daryl's three fly, but I'm not going to mention him, and otherwise it goes back.
Yeah, but it's Daryl's and it's Chris Kenner's, but Gary Kurtz really published it first, and Jonathan Townsend's mad because his version's not remembered before all of them.
Right.
Jason, I hope you meant to do that twice, and if not, you're off the hook for next week. But dude, thank you so much again. You've officially overdone it, and if not, you've made a big mistake.
Jason's putting money in the coffers for you, huh?
Have you seen the Gary Kurtz version? Did you study his work at all on the three
A little
fly?
bit, yeah, Florius.
Specifically, not Flurious, but more, I think he called it Misty Like a Dream on his video series. And in the book, Trio in 3? Is that what he
sounds like
called?
a Gary Kurtz title, yeah. Yeah. I don't recognize Misty. That sounds like something I should see.
This
Trio.
footage is available online. I'm sure you can find Gary Kurtz performing the original three fly. It's with a shell and it's beautiful.
Nice. Yeah, I've played with doing a slippery shell.
Hmm.
With-
I did too for about 5 minutes. And I was like, bleh.
And actually, this is nostalgic.
You want to do some three flies?
No, if I'm doing it on stage, it's a whole different thing.
Oh, good. Cool.
And these are coins you gave me,
What?
like when we first met.
Oh, I remember those
You
coins.
remember these? They had stickers, and now they are Dremel etched and dyed.
Nice.
Can you see that?
Yeah. So you went to work on those things.
I went to work on it, make them look a little more legit.
This is Alexander. He's like, this needs to be dremeled, etched, and dyed.
They looked like toys when you gave them to me,
Mhm.
but they are these nice big hunks of metal. And that's I mean, as far as a display for a coin goes, like which one, huh?
It's a good size if you got big hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Eric Evans likes like a 2-incher,
Yeah,
for
he's
his
got big
kind of.
slugs. I wonder if this will play on, because this is kind of a close-up camera situation, but I'll do it with the stage version if you like.
Here we go.
Do it this way here.
Yeah.
Did that just look like I took it from hand to hand? I can't
Oh,
tell
man.
the depth of field here. But so that's 2 on this side, 1 on this side, 1 on this side, 2 on this side.
Wow.
Is that plan? I maybe should have polished these if I'd have known I was going to do this up here. I'll polish these. I'll do it in slow motion so you can see it for sure. Okay. Slow motion.
Flash.
Did you see it go? You flat? Oh, I
What?
flashed. I'll do it.
Oh man, I think
I definitely didn't want to flash. And then, all right, the last one maybe I would do this in somebody's hand, but on stage maybe I would just set it. I'll just so you can see it
Yeah.
on the table there. Okay, and it would go maybe like this. A little homage to you there on the table.
beautiful.
Okay.
I mean, that's a finish in a spectator's hands, right?
You finish in the spectator's hands typically. We talked about that in last time I was on with you.
Yeah, Camp Conn, right?
Yeah, but nice big stuff, and I also do some stuff with the silk with these as well. So
I have to say, continued thanks to people supporting the channel today, and it's not a competition, but cool. Thanks, guys. Especially lately. Like, I
it's
don't
a
know.
competition.
I'll talk about my life, but I appreciate
Whoever
the 20s
wins
for
is
sure. They do make a
officially
difference.
The best.
David Miller's in the top 3.
The race is on, boys.
If it was a competition, he would be top 3. Briefly, because we didn't talk about it much, you mentioned you were in Italy doing a magic lecture. Were you traveling through Italy as a busker?
I lived in Italy for about 2 years, on and off, in and out.
Were you almost like a Italian resident? You
No,
were.
not on that. I was there. I overstayed a little bit a couple times in Europe, but
Man, were you
cut
gone
out.
that
Actually,
long
I don't wanna
years?
say that live on the internet, but yeah.
Yeah, right. I get it.
No, it's not an overstay. Apparently, there's loopholes like if you go out of the EU and then back in. So like I would go to Africa for a little while.
Yeah, I've heard
bounce
that.
around. But no, pretty much anywhere between Iceland and, like I said, Tunis. I lived in North Africa a little bit, but anywhere in Europe you can name other than Spain, really.
So obviously you liked Italy.
Tried it.
What
Loved
else did
Italy.
you like in Europe or parts
Uh,
unknown? Anywhere overseas that you might recommend someone with similar vibes go see, you know? Where would you recommend I go?
Oh God, yeah, Copenhagen, for sure.
Copenhagen. All right.
That's one of those things people don't think about, but yeah, I kind of accidentally went there, and it's probably my absolute favorite city.
Look at this. We're getting cherry information then. Copenhagen. All right.
And there's room for all. So I'll spread that information. There's room for everybody in Copenhagen.
Great.
But it's been a few years, so I'm not exactly sure how it looks these days. But it's a wonderful walking street, and there's lots of places that you could do various sized street performances and make okay money doing it. And yeah, Rome is great. Lots of places to do it in Rome, and it's a different culture, but it's a fun kind of street thing. There's a rough attitude on the street that everybody sort of gets into.
On Rome, you got to be ready to.
It's a big city. Got to be ready for the big city vibe.
I'm literally in disbelief here, Matthew. I'm not sure what you're doing. I hope you're comfortable with what you're doing, and thank you very much. And this is the most beneficial stream that we've had here, so thank you very much. I normally don't make any profit here. I do get I make money, but this is not what I do this for, to collect big sums of cash. And today, anytime we can earn $100, that is something that makes a difference in our lives. Thank you, guys.
Wonderful. Well, I hope I'm adding some value as well, and I'll tell you.
If it's all your fault, and if you want
fine.
half, you're out, man. This is all going to the internet bill and the web hosting and StreamYard and all the other unseen.
I was going to tell you a tip, and this is another tip I don't feel uncomfortable sharing to the world because there's plenty of room for everybody. But I'll definitely tell you this, and anybody that's serious about doing busking in Europe. One of the things I found was it's the small towns. It's not like the States. Every city is built for walking traffic. Every little town has a center town where everybody walks. It's a pedestrian mall. It's an open square in front of the church. It's a whatever it is. That's everywhere. So the space to work doesn't. It's not like the United States where that's a diamond in the rough to actually find space. It's everywhere. So what I used to do, and especially this got me in Rome, got me in through the off season as well when the city wasn't great. And this worked for me in a lot of different cities. But if you're in a major city, you're getting tired of it, get on a tram. Any direction. You can do a little research and make your life easier, but just get on a train out of town and get off when everybody else gets off. Because you're following them to something. There's some small little town festival or sausage market or farmer's market or whatever it is that weekend. Just follow the people off the train. I did this a few times and found these little hidden gem festivals that I could do a few shows at that nobody else was at. You're a complete, special event coming to town, especially as an American.
And travel is reasonable. You're not traveling 6 hours to go do this, right?
No,
you can go places
you're
in
on
an
the train
hour.
for an hour out of town, and within an hour you'll see a stop where people get off on the weekends. Yeah.
So have an
Kinda doesn't
adventurous
matter the direction. A
spirit,
few times
and
I would know where I was going and find these little small town festivals that were happening. It was great, but a few times it was just like, I'm gonna ride the train. It started. I lived long and far enough outside of town that I had to ride the train for a long time anyway. And I noticed one day a bunch of people. I called it early one Saturday, and I noticed a bunch of people getting off at the same spot, and so I just followed them, and I had one of the best days of my life.
that's great advice.
Finding
And
this
advice
tiny
I've never
little
heard either. Just follow the herd. And
Yeah, it's a, maybe it's something you don't think about, but definitely a useful tip if you're living the vagabond, if you're interested in that complete adventure lifestyle.
Well, and if you're going to be a busker, you probably are, and I was hoping to get some advice for people that are that, because I know some listen to this channel. So
You should be. Well, if you're that, nobody's going to stop you. So just do it.
yeah, right. Just go
That's
be
the
free.
hard thing. I'm trying to think about what to lecture on street performing when the real secret, like Dante used to say, go out and suck for a year.
Yeah.
That's the secret. You'll
Yeah.
figure it
Well,
out.
with intelligent improvements along the way. If you just stay sucking,
hope
if you
to,
just keep sucking,
right.
you know how that
That's
ends up.
just
We've
that
seen a lot of
journey
those.
for you. Maybe it's only 9 months with my advice.
I've seen some progress rapidly, but yeah, it's about what I say. And usually I say 2, just so the person it's going to take 2 years, just so the person getting into it is prepared for the journey.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, the people I've seen that go to Europe and come back exponentially advance,
It's huge because you can do it everywhere, and you have to do it for people who don't understand you. It's an international crowd no matter where you go. But it helps to learn the local stuff too. But yeah, their culture for it is just so much more set up for it.
Yeah.
That
They're used to walking out and they're shopping, and it's a social atmosphere more so
nobody's
than
looking down on you like, well, what are you doing? It's like, oh, this has been here for thousands of years. We know what this is.
right. Yeah, sadly,
so that
the United
gives you
States
opportunity to
has very few pitches like that. And the ones that exist are overpopulated and generally also hand in hand with challenging situations. You come to New Orleans to street perform, not only are you going to have 20 other people trying to do the same thing in the same spot, but you're going to have homeless and drunks and solicitors and, the list is long.
European crowds will help you more with that kind of thing. They'll step in for you if the drunk is in your show, whereas an American crowd will just watch you deal with it.
Yeah.
I had more audience people help me in those kind of situations in Europe than in America.
For lucrative, Alan, it has to be tourist, I would say. I guess Europe, maybe there's more local vibe, right? Where it's not a
You can
tourist
find
scene.
Those gems, like I say, go to a local festival and you're doing a show for only locals and maybe 1 or 2 shows and you've done everybody.
Yeah, you're not there for a week. You're there
That's
for a
good. That
day.
can be really good. But no, you're working for tourists. If you're making money for long term, most of your shows are in English, and you're working for tourists.
Yep.
And yeah, you'll see so many other different kinds of acts. That's another thing. Reason people come back great is there's so many more different kinds of acts that work on the street, like follow clowns and different sorts of statue acts that I've seen that work. There's more room for big juggling shows and this kind of thing. Even the breakdancing shows are typically more creative and unique from each other. Even though that is a same kind of problem, there is sort of one breakdancing show.
Yeah,
But,
that's international. It's an international show
a
too.
little bit. It's
A little bit.
less. I'd say it's more creative in Europe than here, but that's one.
I have a sense those of us who've spent time in the New Orleans breakdancing arenas have become a
think
little
that-
jaded.
That might be coloring my opinion.
Yeah,
So
I tell you,
I
I
saw
spent
more
some
different
wonderful
culture.
time in company of a solo breakdance artist in Shreveport last season when I missed you when you were here, and
Yeah.
I was like, "That's what a breakdance show can be," you
I
know?
really respect a good solo breakdance. Or
Yeah,
any kind
and
of
shout out to
dance.
Arson if you happen to be
Arson.
seeing this. Arson is a wonderful talent and
Cool.
broke away from the traditional troops and learned how to be a good show, with a nice plot and character development and giving their audience a reason to care and not just laugh at racism.
Yeah. Oh,
It's what they do
bravo
mostly.
to that then. There needs to be more of that.
Yeah. I think we all got to go. Look, Phoenix has got to go. If Phoenix is saying he's got to go, it's about time to wrap this up. We're already 10 minutes past. I know Phoenix can hang. See you, Phoenix. We're all about to wrap up. Alex, did you have anything else you wanted to say today?
Nothing in particular. Come join us April 1st, Marshall, Michigan. If you're in Michigan or even close, it's going to be worth the show at least. The showcase should be fantastic. So, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Jason Lieb. Arson is from your neck of the woods. What a great show.
Arson's from Michigan, you say?
Jason's in Florida, Clearwater, St. Petersburg area. That's where they're throwing down with Dallas Sape. You know Dallas, I'm
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, he works down there with Dallas, and we were all together in Shreveport doing that thing. You were in New Orleans when I was there.
Yeah.
Jake, thank you so much, buddy.
I was in Florida like 3 weeks ago. Were you there then?
No, but I will be in May.
Drat.
Tampa Festival of Magic.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Sounds fun.
This is my year working magic gigs.
Yeah, for magicians.
Mm-hmm.
Groovy.
I'm actually going to be working to the mimes only, but there'll be magicians at the magic convention, but I'm specifically
magicians are just
pivoting
mimes.
to mime-centric material. And I'm not good at it, so it's not going to be enjoyable. It'll be a train wreck.
Well, that could be a great show in itself.
Probably not.
Twist the genre, turn it on its head.
Yes. Let me double ditto this as we say goodbye to our guest. Alex, why don't you hang loose as I sign off, and I can say bye to you post-stream because we didn't talk about that.
Cool.
And I'm just going to say bye to everyone together as we sign off for here. It's been an hour plus. Thanks for hanging out. Super thanks to the super chats. Wow, $100 today, 110 because Jake pitched in too. Thanks, guys. And congratulations, Jeff. Send me an email. I'll get you this dice trick in the mail. Once again, Alexander Osborne, thanks for hanging with us today and kill it this April. I'm sure you will.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks for having me.
Been a pleasure. That's ciao for now, y'all. See you next week. Warpo will be here. What?